Well, first off, Merry Christmas. It is actually Christmas Day, and we're out in the shop. Getting ready to start on, what is it, part 6 of the Winter Project series. And this one's a semi-quickie project, unlike the other couple of ones that we've done, the power box and the move boards. This time, we are working on my projector boxes. These are the boxes I hang up in the haunt that we put our projectors in to help kind of keep them protected from weather. I made these up several years back, and they've been pretty good. They've done good, but they need a redesign. The box is a little oversized for what I need, so I want to kind of shrink the height of the box so it's not so big and bulky. And I've come into some drawbacks with the mounting bracket on them as well, so I need to redo the mounting brackets. So that's pretty much what this project's consisting of. Should take about a week, if that, and the only reason why it's going to take about a week is because I've got to glue the boxes together, and then they got to dry overnight. Then I've got to paint them, and then those got to dry. You know, it's going to be dry time is what's going to eat us on this one. But we're just kind of getting out here. We still got some family things going on with Christmas. Got to open up presents and stuff. Some people are being lazy and sleeping in today instead of getting up to open presents. So I figure, well, I'll come out here and I'll putz around out in the shop for a little bit, you know, get started on the project. Don't know how far I'm going to get, but at least we're going to try to get a start on it. I've been working out here just for a little bit. Family stuff with Christmas presents, candy, cookies, playing around with the dog, you know, that's interfered. But I got out here, I've got both the top and the bottom piece cut out, and my next step is to cut this little groove in here, and that's where I slide the plexiglass in. I have a piece of plexiglass that goes up front and one goes in the rear to help keep the weather out. And I usually leave one piece off. That way it gets some ventilation, because projectors do put out heat. Now right now I've got one piece done and I got a groove cut. I cut these out there 9.5 by 10 is the dimension. And the F and the B is front and back. These are the side pieces on it here. What I ended up doing is I went and took the piece of wood, put it in next to my saw blade, and then lower the saw blade so it only goes down about, it only goes into the wood about halfway. And then I set my fence up, you know, to the gap there. The gap is to leave that little strip of wood right there, so I know that's the front edge of the wood. If I go too close to the edge, it'd break out and the plexiglass would fall off. But I made one pass through both on the front and the back side of the wood. I need to slide the fence in just a hair, because I want to do another pass here. I want to widen that gap out a little bit so the plexiglass can slide in and out a little easier. I had some trouble with the old ones. The gap here wasn't quite big enough, and the plexiglass slid in okay, but it had a habit of getting jammed up, and I wanted a little bit more play in the plexiglass. So I'm going to have to do a second pass. But right now I've only got one piece to this point. I need to get the rest of those to this point. Alright, not really all that much to show with this. I think I'm just filming the clips to hear myself talk, but which is probably normal. Ram likes ramble. I got my side pieces cut, which are over here, and you can kind of tell from the camera angle there that this piece is way smaller than that piece. My next step is I got to get some holes drilled. In this piece, I need to draw a line diagonal back and from corner to corner to find my center hole on all the pieces. That's where my mounting screw for the stand will come through, and I want that dead center in the middle of the box. I've also got to drill a series of pilot holes at the top and bottom of it too for the screws that I'll use to hold these things together. When I originally designed these boxes, I went and used wood glue and my pneumatic nailer and just nailed them together. It worked fine the first couple of seasons. The third and fourth season, like with this one here, the glue joints are starting to let loose. So this time I'm going to use Gorilla Glue when I join them up. And I'm going to use screws. And I want to drill some pilot holes so this piece doesn't split or crack. I might drill a couple little pilot holes in those pieces too. I don't know. I'll get there when I'll decide that part when I get there. But I still need to get the center hole here and drill some pilot holes here for the starting on the screws. And I've got 10 pieces here. 5 of them are the top of the box. The other 5 are the bottom of the box. And on the bottom of the box, I need to drill an access hole for sticking the wiring and stuff in for the projector. So I need to bore a hole into that too on 5 of those. And that is the next step. Well, as you can tell, we're not in the main shop. We're down in the secondary shop, the mini Dragon Layer workshop. I moved in here to assemble the boxes. So they'll dry overnight. Out in the main shop, I can't run the heater while the Christmas lights are on because they're still plugged in. It's only Christmas Day. I still got another week to go before I can start using the heater again. And it's too cold, the glue won't dry, or dry right. So I moved in here, and using a combination of our old standard Gorilla Glue and my drill and some screws, I got all 5 boxes made up. And the width on them is about the same. I think it's just slightly a little wider. But the height, and this is how they're going to sit, actually that's upside down, they're way shorter. And I did get a hole drilled in the bottom of it. Now I'm going to have to change out that screw on all the boxes. All the boxes in this hole have a screw sticking through. The screws are a little bit too long. Well, I'll switch that out after they've dried overnight, so no big deal. That's where all the wiring and stuff for the projector pop into the box out. But I got all 5 boxes glued and screwed. It's fun to glue and screw. Sorry, I had to go there. But all 5 are done. Now I need to sit overnight. And then tomorrow I need to come in and they all need a good sanding. I need to replace that one screw that's sticking through the hole in there on all the boxes. And then we'll give them a coat of paint down here too. So that'll dry. And this part of the project is done. Okay, it's the next day. They've dried overnight, and as usual, the Gorilla Glue did its thing and foamed up. So my next step on these is I've got to go through, and I'm going to be using a putty knife where I can, and I got to clean up all the slop. Then it's going to be sanding and painting, and they're going to get painted black. Next day, day 2 of the project, and we're moving right along. I got all the boxes painted with the exception of that part right there. That was the part that was against the table. I gotta get that painted now on all 5 boxes. At the same time, I think before I get that part there painted, notice I got a hole there. I gotta get the mounting brackets on, or for mounting it to the brackets. But those are permanently attached to the box. I gotta get those on. So I think I'm gonna do those and get that lip painted. And I'll give you a look at it after I get them done. Okay, didn't take long to do. This is a very quick project. I got the hardware on. I'm using a 2.5 inch 5/16 hex head. You can see the head there. Bolt that I just ran through the hole. I mounted it with a lock nut and a washer. Now I've got a wing nut here. I can loosen up. I can spread these 2 washers apart, and the metal bracket that I'll make for this, the tip of it will fit in between these. I can tighten it down to allow me to be able to pivot the box as I need. Now, the next 2 steps, I've got 2 steps left to do. One's an extremely quick one. I've got to cut the plexiglass, 2 pieces of plexiglass to go over the front and the back of the box. I'll probably get that done tomorrow. And I've also got to do the brackets. I'll be working on the brackets and the plexiglass piece tomorrow. I can't do it now. It's going on 6, the Christmas lights are on, so I can't do anything out in the shop. But we'll get started on that tomorrow, and hopefully it will go quick. I like these little quickie projects, and this is one I've been needing to do for ages. Should have done it last year, actually. Oh, hey, as you can tell, we're not in the basement shop. We're out in the main Dragon Layers workshop. And I've been out here for a couple hours messing around. We've been working on plexiglass. And that's the part that goes on the front and the back of the box. I went and got these cut out. Used a old soldering iron. Melted some holes in it. Cleaned them up. And then went and slid them in. And then the holes I put in there I used to allow a couple of screws to go through so these stay into place. On my old boxes, the original plexiglass I used on them, I didn't have the notch wide enough, and the plexiglass slid into it, but it slid into it really hard. This one I made a little bit wider notch, and I also made the plexiglass slides or films a little smaller too, so there was a little bit more play in it. So they slide in real easy and come out real easy. Hence is why I put the screws in. But that step is done. I was able to get the shop cleaned up. Our next and last step is this here, this bracket. And this was the mounting bracket for the old boxes. I've got to recreate these. I'm going to redo them differently. What I'm going to be using, and it's the same material, as you can see, some 2-inch flat iron, flat metal, 2 inches wide. When I made these up, I cold forged them. In other words, I marked where I needed my bend, you know, right down here by my pinky, put it in the vise, and then just beat the hell out of it until it bent into the shape I wanted. Unfortunately, these are not exact to what I needed for the boxes, but they worked. With the new ones, I'm going to do the same basic shape, but instead of cold forging them, I'm going to be welding them. So in other words, I've got to mark out a bottom piece and 2 side pieces. I've also got to drill some mounting holes in the bottom so I can mount these to walls. And then here, that hole there corresponds with that screw on the box. And instead of just doing a drill hole, I'm going to cut a slot in there so I can just slide the boxes in and out. Makes it a lot easier. Which is why I added the washers up here. So I've got to get those made. And the measurements are a tad bit different. These boxes are slightly more narrower than the originals, and they're about half the thickness of the original boxes. So these pieces don't have to be quite as tall as the old ones. So, but my first step in this whole process is I've got to get that piece of flat iron. I've got another piece up there in the attic. I've got to start cutting pieces, getting everything cut out into my lengths and everything, and get my holes drilled, get my slots cut, and then it's just simply welding, and that's the last step in this project. Time for another segment, and probably going to be your last segment for this vlog. Yesterday I came out and I started welding the brackets done together. This is the finished product here, minus a coat of paint. I'll be painting them black. My welds are not pretty. They never have been. But anyway, got 2 of them finished yesterday, and I ran out of welding wire. Oh, Probably could have had these done yesterday if I hadn't. But I decided, well, I'll go down to Harbor Freight, pick up more wire today, which is the next day. And I did that. That was my first thing. I was down there about a half hour after they opened, got my welding wire, came home, went to load it, and had a problem. You notice down there back behind the screw, that black box, that was my welder. Loaded the wire in and kept loading it, and I was getting nothing out the tip. But when I glanced down the cord, the wire was going onto the floor. It was coming out the cord. The housing on the inside of this, on the inside of the sleeve, on the old welder, had failed. And now I got that Harbor Freight years ago, several years ago. Harbor Freight is notorious for not carrying replacement parts or, parts. They'll sell you the machine, but if something goes wrong, you have to contact the company and wait for it to be shipped. And I figured that's going to take a couple of weeks. I want to get this project done. So I went back down to Harbor Freight. And they had the display model out, but they were out of inventory and would not sell me the display model. And I asked them, well, how long until they come in? And they said it will be either this Thursday, which is the day after tomorrow, or Thursday of next week. But we can't guarantee it. Oh, great. And with my luck with Harbor Freight, when I've been told that, it usually takes about a month for them to get it in. Especially now with this corona crap going on. So I said the hell with it. I went over to Home Depot. And instead of buying a Chicago Electric, which is a Harbor Freight exclusive, I bought a Lincoln. A little bit more expensive. In fact, way more expensive. The one at Harbor Freight was regularly $129. They had on sale for $99. Like most Harbor Freight stuff, cheap. Cheaply made, cheaply built, cheap. Stuff from Harbor Freight are not built to last. But they're still good tools. They're perfect for us haulers. But Lincoln is one of the top name varieties. So I went and I bought this one. Now I imagine that one was on sale for $99, regularly $129. I paid $450 for that one. So I got a better grade welder. Got home, got put together, and I've been welding my little heart out. Now, the bases consists of 5 pieces. I got my base piece. I cut out a little triangle that I'm putting on the arms down here to act as a brace, and then I have my uprights, which the box fits into that groove there. And I'm sitting there welding and grinding. Having fun with it. I actually enjoy doing the welding, and I don't mind my welds being messy at all. I mean, if I was doing it for somebody else, I'd want them neater. I don't know if I'd ever be able to get them neater. But for me, this is fine. Everything stays together. It doesn't fall apart. It works. Got another completed one over here. This one, basically, you look there, just goes on like that. And then you tighten down the wing bolt and you can tilt the box one way or the other. But, that's pretty much the finished product. Later this summer I'll get these out and I'll get the metal sprayed painted in order to protect it, because if I leave it bare, eventually it will rust. These things do sit outside during the hunt up to about a month, and it gets wet, it rains, they will corrode. But this is pretty much where I'm at now. Like I said, I've got 2 completely done. I don't have anything else left to do. These 2, I need to grind the bottoms of them. Everything else is done on them. And this one I've got to assemble. So we are going to have this project done today, which means we can get on to the next project probably tomorrow. And I do want to warn you before I bring this to a close. Next vlog for the Winter Project series probably won't be out for about a month, maybe slightly longer. Reason being, we're getting into foam and foam carving. We've got 3 different projects we're going to be doing with the foam, and the first one should take about a month, and I will cover that in the next vlog, which will probably be started tomorrow. But like I said, it's going to be about a month or so before the next vlog comes out, so don't sit there and freak out if you're not getting anything from me. I think some of you kind of like these smaller vlogs where you're getting a couple of vlogs a month. God, we started mid-November, and this is our 6th project. So we've had 5 vlogs, because I had one vlog that was a double vlog. So we'll see you guys in about a month. Happy New Year, by the way. New Year's Eve is day after tomorrow. So with that, stay spooky, stay toxic.